Coming up on Metaverse Express, off the grid and on the beach, I'll take you to the FTX event that took place in the 305 this past weekend. And we're going to check out the Star Atlas Gaming Lounge, where fans got to play video games with their toes in the sand. Plus, a one-on-one interview with the CEO of Star Atlas. Find out what he had to say about the latest in gaming and Web3. This is Metaverse Express, your world, your news. I'm your host, Mona. Thanks for joining me today. And be sure to click that subscribe button below, guys, for your weekly news update. All right, let's race right into today's top stories. In case you missed it, the FTX Off the Grid event took over South Beach last weekend. The event transformed 3 entire blocks in the sand into an all-immersive electric beach-themed activation. It was very, very cool. The leading crypto exchange FTX, in partnership with Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team and the city of Miami Beach and a few others, hosted a 3-day series of crypto, culture, and cars. The event happened during the most anticipated race weekend on the sporting calendar. Now, fans got up close and personal with the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 demo car. They even put their track driving skills to test at the Motorsports Games. Guys were having way too much blast with this one. They also had an NFT gallery. The gallery showcased the Catalina whales, the Aurorians, and a few other big projects from the Solana blockchain. This part was fun. Fans had the opportunity to custom make and mint their own NFTs right then and there, and they would put them or press them on a t-shirt for you. Very cool, right? Just a few doors down at the Star Atlas Video Game Lounge, fans got an up-close look at the in-game experience featured alongside classic and vintage arcades. Now, Star Atlas host Ashley surprised the fans and online viewers by dropping some pre-alpha content. I really hope you didn't miss that one. But that wasn't the only surprise. Co-founders Michael Wagner and Pablo dropped some knowledge on the live stream with Ashley for the viewers. And guess who else showed up? That's right, your favorite NFT gaming influencer, Kagi. Kagi shared some of his new projects with the fans. He said the projects aim to support games and Web3 content creators. Shout out to Kagi for always supporting the community. And that is why, my friends, you need to be watching the Star Atlas live stream during events so you don't miss the juicy drops. Speaking of drops, CEO Michael Wagner was on the FTX Off the Grid panel where he teased drops some of the Star Atlas upcoming rollouts. Take a listen.
We're looking at some of the first major feature releases of our gaming products, which everybody's, it's highly anticipated. They're very excited about it, as are we. We are deeply rooted in gaming throughout the company. And so, things like multiple Unreal Engine experiences that will allow players to fly ships in a dedicated map. They'll be able to enter into a showroom. All of these are multiplayer enabled, so you'll be able to socialize, which is, we haven't really talked about it, but this concept of the metaverse and these virtual worlds and virtual economies of the future, like that's kind of the next generation of what we're doing, right? The gaming is an application, metaverse is the foundation. And so, moving forward, people will be able to socialize as one of the things that they really desire to do. We also have a web browser application and game that we're rolling out, and then we have our DAO is officially rolling out. And then in addition to that, we're rolling out multimedia or omni-channel marketing strategies.
I also had the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with the Star Atlas CEO. Our first topic covered how the company plans to use gaming to attract a new audience in Web3.
Gaming is an application, and there are many applications that will exist across the metaverse. So we really think about the metaverse as kind of this foundational layer, the base layer in a technology stack for which many applications will live on top of it. Right? And so there's gaming, you mentioned commerce, that's a massive application, but there's social, there's human interaction and human experience, there's workplace experiences, there's many things that will happen, right? Now we happen to think of gaming as a very attractive initial feature to bring in a new audience into these digital environments, these digital worlds where they have an opportunity to not only exist, but to persist. So in terms of kind of coming into its own, like what Web3 enables, this open architecture and individual ownership, it creates the ability for people to actually create careers for themselves, jobs for themselves, labor markets arise, and they get to have fun while they're doing it.
Now, what Wagner was referencing there is something that we've seen with games like Axie Infinity, right? Where people in countries like the Philippines tapped into, especially during the pandemic, to make money and provide for themselves and their families. So essentially, Star Atlas is breaking boundaries and is aiming to be a player in creating a global digital economy. But how will other users and brands also partake? Well, I'll let Wagner explain.
You know, we go after the 3.5 billion users around the world that are interested in AAA gaming, and we also go after the many billions of individuals that are interested in a new economic opportunity for themselves through play to earn. So step one is creating this very engaging gameplay experience. Step two is introducing brands and companies. And I want to emphasize here the importance of establishing a metaverse strategy for a company. It's going to be on par with the necessity that every brand had through the 90s and early 2000s to establish a web presence. Every company and every brand will need a metaverse presence as well, and we want to facilitate. We want to build those tools, we want to build the infrastructure, we want to form the relationships, bring those companies in and give them an opportunity to be exposed to all of the people that will be traveling around and existing inside Star Atlas.
And lastly, in lieu of the big NFT drop failure that happened last week, I asked the Star Atlas CEO for his advice for builders and creators in avoiding these types of errors. And this is what he had to say.
This, again, is very nascent technology. We are on the bleeding edge, and part of operating on the bleeding edge is understanding that most things are not going to work out the way that you anticipate that they will work out, right? So we have to be comfortable with that dynamic, and then we have to find quick resolution when problems arise, and you know, that's occurred for us as well. We've rolled out features. We built the first NFT marketplace fully integrated with the Serum DEX on Solana. And our first drop didn't go anything like we wanted it to go like, and there was, you know, significant demand for the assets, but we made consistent and integral improvements to the marketplace over time. So, I mean, if you're a builder, you just have to understand that things are probably not going to work the way that you hope they work. But what's really important is that you're open and transparent and you communicate with the people that are actually interested in participating in your ecosystem.
Now, if you want to see my uncut interview with Wagner, I'll be posting the full interview tomorrow right here in the channel. So be sure to tune in, right? That's it, guys, for your top 3 Metaverse headlines today. If you'd like to hear more from MetaverseXpress, you know what to do. Please like the video, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week with more news in the Metaverse.